Viewers, what is up? I'm Liquid, and finally the DLC number 2 has released. So of course Uprising has launched this morning, and if you haven't seen it yet, well, here's your good look. It has been all over YouTube and Twitch, so I would be surprised if you haven't at least seen at least one map, or at least some screenshots, or even maybe a full gameplay. And then again, there's a lot of you I know that's been watching my live stream that's pretty much watched almost every single map. And then there's also been Syndicate Project and a few other people doing a ton of zombies. I have not played zombies myself, however I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit on the maps themselves and, you know, whether they're worth buying or not. Of course, this map is Magma and it's got lava everywhere. The very first time I played this map, it was actually kind of funny. People was diving off into the lava, killing themselves. I don't know why, but whatever makes it fun for you, have fun with that. And yeah, it's supposed to be fun because new maps are always different, and hopefully they will change the pace of the game. Now, I've noticed some of the maps are very campy. This map, I've heard of some very sneaky spots to camp in. I have not found any myself, but I could see where, you know, you can definitely find little spots and sit around. Definitely do not want to see those kind of games, though. I'd rather have my run and gun games just like normal, and that's what we do here. So, of course, the only death that I have this whole game I've already had, and no longer will we see any of those. Now, the big thing I have noticed on most of these maps is the colors, and, you know, they do have really vibrant colors. And on some of the maps, some parts of the maps you just wonder, like, did they stop thinking on, like, you know, okay, well, the map is cool, but there's just some things left out and just doesn't seem complete. Studio's really nice since it was Firing Range's main layout, and it's got a cool theme to it. This map's got an interesting theme to it, but it's not like, you know, anything extra special, and it definitely reminds me of Call of Duty's maps recently. Anything from MW3 until now, the map packs just have been really shit. I just have not been enjoying the DLC. It's just like some of the maps that they've been throwing into the game as a regular map. It's almost like DLC is themed-based maps slash, well, let's give you something else to look at that's not Call of Duty, and that's kind of like it's just been slacking in quality, and I've just not been enjoying them as much. This map pack has been a little bit better on that, but still not the greatest. So, should you buy it or should you not? That's all up to you. I have the Season Pass, so I'm not worried about having to purchase them singularly. Now, I will say this map pack is a lot better than the first one. The only map that I enjoyed from the first one was Grind, and if you enjoyed that map, then these maps are pretty cool, comparable to it, but I still like that one a little bit more than these. And then I'd probably put, of course, the new Firing Range, which is Studio, in the second. Vertigo is a really, really campy map, and I would definitely say watch how a full team will camp in Domination. But if you're a sniper, they also are really good sniper maps. They have long view sights on them, so of course you don't have as many ways to get snuck up on. So I could see some really good feeds coming from these maps. And if you're a sniper, I definitely would say check it out. Then again, you know, if you're really bored of the game, that's what DLCs are made for. It's made to break up the normal, boring, everyday maps that you just pretty much get in a routine playing. And for me, the reason why I think these maps are a little bit more boring is because I was playing regular Domination. And of course, as you see, I'm running around a lot trying to find people. I'm a Ground War player, and everybody's like, dude, why don't you play Ground War all the time? Well, Ground War, whenever you have 5 enemies at your balls every second because the spawns are gay, you have that many more teammates running around mixing up the spawns, you have more people to shoot at, it makes it a little bit more entertaining. And I don't know, to me, this just does not seem very entertaining to even watch and commentate over, because I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, well, I was going to throw down a great commentary and be able to, you know, have some reference to the game, but there's really not much reference to the game. Now, the good thing I will say, though, is that this map and a few of the other maps are really good for swarms and high kill streaks. I have not got to use them on Studio. Studio is the one I really, really want to try them on. And then again, I kind of want to start playing competitive and get a bunch of guys playing, you know, MLG map set rules on that, because that used to be my awesome map that I used to throw down 40 bombs and 60 bombs and just craziness of slaying, and that was my favorite. Then again, we don't have Domination for MLG anymore, so therefore CTF might have to do, but it's, you know, it's a really fun map in general. And the only problem sometimes I have with them remaking maps is when you remake a map, well, your muscle memory to how you're doing things sometimes messes you up. For instance, on Studio, there's the middle building, which is the 10 building going down to the bottom of the firing range. You can actually get sniped all the way up at the staircase now. Like, the doorways are wider and things are a little bit more, I guess, spread out than they were originally. Of course, they rescale the map and they change things a little bit. So there is a few areas that it's easier to get killed in than it used to be, which, you know, makes it easier not to have to worry about as much camping. However, whenever you're used to, you know, a wall being exactly a certain length and how far you can run on it and, you know, not necessarily, you know, get killed whenever you're not looking, like, you know, you have your back turned and you're trying not to die and it just happens to be not as long as you once remembered it to be. That kind of stuff kind of sucks a little bit, but I guess it kind of keeps you on your toes of having to pay attention and not just play and smash kids. Because Raid, of course, I mean, I can pretty much almost play that map blindfolded, know the spawns, know exactly where they're going to be, depending on where my teammates are. Firing range, of course, spawns are not much different than what they used to be. The big difference is some of the corners and everything else are a little bit more wide, the freaking shit open. So just keep that in mind whenever you're playing some of these maps. And, you know, I guess the best way to do it is keep an open mind, because they are different. They are DLC. They are never going to be like regular full-on average everyday maps. So, of course, DLC is just going to be a little different. Just, you know, hopefully you'll enjoy them. I done really well on a few of these maps. I've dropped some really good kill games. I mean, 48's I think the highest I've done on one of these maps so far. But usually, like I said, I'm normally playing Ground War. Ground War makes a huge difference whenever you have, you know, a total of, what, 3 more people to shoot at? Makes a huge difference, because that's 3 times the more deaths for their other team. So, I mean, if you think about it, a game against me, there's an average of, you know, 10 to 40 deaths. Well, if you take, you know, let's say an average of 25, that makes, you know, 100 or about 75 deaths more if they were there. But yeah, so the overview of Magma looks really sweet. There's all the lava coming through the map. Make sure you don't jump into it. But viewers, hopefully you enjoyed it. And make sure you hit the like if you want me to bring you some more DLC content. And maybe even some zombies. But until then, I'm Liquid. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.